All right, Tyler, it's your Baba Ni again. I've left two messages back to back because it's just been a crazy time. Your mother never communicates, only communicates with you. She really does love you. However, she, right, is not college educated. I don't think she finished high school, and she only knows the Chinese way, right? When I have traveled the world and I see the fallacies and the differences in life. And so there's no international schools here. That's an obvious. I've walked all around it. I know there's not. Is that for you, especially in these changing times and these globalized times, and you being an American here in China, you need to be internationalized and to be globalized. But she cannot see that because A, she's not educated, and B, she's never left China. So again, this is for you, my future son. Hopefully we all look back and laugh at this. I don't know if I'll be with your mom. It's quite challenging. I do care for her because she has been a good mother to you, especially in difficult times recently for me. However, there has been so many of her family problems that has affected me educating you and me being with you. And now that said, I've also noticed, especially in Dongbei, Haiyuiga, Wenhua, there's also a different culture where the men are really supplanted or sub, right? I guess just sub to under the women's dominance and women's influence with the kids. But they are also Dada Dongming No Ming. They're also northeastern Chinese peasants, so it really doesn't matter. I am the only tool that you will get to learn another language, to possibly think differently, and to think more open and be more open and one day leave and not have an issue. Again, when the Chinese leave, they stick together because they cannot adapt to outside of China. I definitely do not want that for you, my son. I want you to be able to travel willy nilly like me and be your own man. Hopefully, there's some money that that Florida State hasn't stolen from us that you and this TIAA that you will one day receive. That would be wonderful. But I like my mother said to me, I think that's great is to be independent of your own. Although she screwed me with her mentality. Um, so that said, right, it becomes very difficult because in the morning here now it's March 27th, 2024. It's just Kobiar, Kobian, which is so rude anyway, but that's the Chinese northeastern custom. And your mom just move. It means move, get out of the way, right? Future Tyler. So when I'm just trying to talk to you in English because you don't have time at night, you just storm in and go into your room. Now, I'm not sure you were very sweet growing up, and we were having a great time in Chenzhou, and then your uncle did what he did criminally and was imprisoned. I guess, again, I don't know what to ever believe from your mom. And she, um, yeah, pulled you back up to northeastern China. But that's water under the bridge, right? As your great uncle loves to say. I haven't heard him say this quite recently, right? Well, c'est la vie, it is what it is. C'est la vie en français, that's life. But how do we move forward to where you're becoming internationalized, right? It seems as though you're angry with me when the truth was, right, Wuhan virus, all foreigners were locked out. You don't see any people fully like your Baba or Jesus and black people because everyone left. And now with the shrinking economy, no one wants to come back. So my options are kind of few and far between for the issues down in Florida, but I am marching on, your son. Never give up, never surrender, and hopefully I at least get this nearby. I think it is probably one of the closest, if not the closest, university, luckily, to teach at, just so I can be close with you. Now again, I'm gonna come back. I'll come back long weekends and right. So we'll communicate. But your mom, my last point that I want to make now, your poor mom I don't know what her mentality is. Care for your sick grandfather or whatever. He's a good man, but he's not really a philosopher, and kind of reminds me of my grandfather. But there's no safety nets here, and now he's injured. I don't know if he'll ever work again. And there's not a high level conversation with him, but he's Lao Cho, right? So I don't know if she feels that she must now help your mother or your grandmother and your grandfather, where I was very fortunate. My grandparents, well, my grandpa had retirement packages, my mother did, but not here, right? So again, you need to be able to float around and hopefully pick the best spot for you and think about your retirement later on in life. Think about setting yourself up regardless of what you have. So I give you advice here. I mean, you're only 11 anyway. I don't even know if I could communicate this in Chinese or if you'd care or listen. You just brush me off, and that's fine. So, but it is a very hostile place. I've had this whooping cough all night. It's very dirty. There's much more better places to live in the world. So hopefully your mom frees you eventually, and we can experience lovely Thailand, Mexico. Hopefully one day maybe move to Texas. There's just so many other lovely, beautiful, and more healthy places. I feel I was so healthy just a month ago down in Thailand. I felt great. I walked so far every day to where here it's laboring, my breath, I'm sick. So it's not healthy spending your whole life here for sure. In many parts of the world, though, now, India and many industrializing cheap labor force countries. So, all right, this is probably one of the longest messages I've left you. There was just a lot on my mind. I'll send this on to your great uncle in Chicago, Jay. I certainly hope I can visit him. Boy, just when I think, wow, American companies are kind of efficient, American Airlines is screwed my points. I'll put that image up on this one of my points. They've taken my points, but it hasn't issued the ticket. So that's up in the air. I don't know how to resolve that now, because how can you call out from China, and how do you call? But all these companies want you to call, et cetera, right? So it's nonsense. But all right, future Tyler. 我不到future 谁是在中文我不到 but all right, I love you, my son, and hopefully this upcoming year you'll start learning. You do come back from school and you speak some English, but very obviously rudimentary, but you try. So as long as you try. I think morning, you're just not a morning person, and that's all right? We have different circadian rhythms, as your great uncle and I have discussed before. So all right, peace out.